Okay, on to our almond layer cake with white chocolate frosting. Okay, I'm trying to pan out to get everything in here, but with this you are going to need, let me make sure I'm telling you guys the right ingredients. Stand by. You're going to need a stick of butter. It says a stick of unsalted butter. I'm going to use salted butter because you need it at room temperature. That's what I've got. But if you use unsalted butter, a stick of unsalted butter, you're going to also want to make sure that you add a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm omitting the salt since I'm using salted butter. So you're going to need a stick of butter. You're going to need 2 cups of cake flour. You're going to need, back here I've got a tablespoon of baking powder. You're going to need some almonds. You're going to need, back here we've got 5 egg whites, large. Here I've got a cup of whole milk. We're also going to be using some vanilla extract and some almond extract. And in this bowl here I've got a cup and a half of some granulated sugar. So let me get the cake flour mix, or the cake flour measured out, and I will be back to show you guys. Okay guys, looky what I got. I got me a real sized food processor. Yay! So look at that. It's a real one. It's not a little 3-cup one. Okay, so I've got my 2 cups of cake flour in there. To that I'm going to add my baking powder. And then I'm going to add this whole bag of sliced almonds because it calls for a half a cup of like whole almonds, and so this should pretty much equal that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lid on here, and I'm going to kind of pulse this. I'm going to get it all mixed together until all these almonds and everything is really, really fine and well combined. So let me get that done. Okay, so basically this just looks like a really nice fine powder. So we've got that all mixed together. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my egg whites and put them in this bowl here. Make sure I get it all out. I'm going to take my milk, 1 cup of whole milk, add that into that mix. Then I've got my vanilla. I'm going to get 2 teaspoons of vanilla going in here. Okay, and then 1½ teaspoon of my almond extract. All right, so I'm going to get this all whisked together with my little whisk that I have. Make sure that everything is really well combined, and then we'll come back for the next step. Now on to our sugar mixture. We're going to take our 1½ cups of sugar and our room temperature butter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my electric mixer and I'm going to mix this until everything is really light and fluffy, about 3 minutes or so. So I'm going to get this all mixed up together, and we'll be back. Okay, so I've beat this and it's really nice, light and fluffy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flour mixture that I made over here, and I'm going to add this in while my hand mixer is going. If you have a stand mixer, that's even better, but I do not have one. So you're going to add this in 3 parts. So you're going to add the flour mixture, beat it in, get really well combined, add half of your milk mixture, beat it really well, more of your flour mixture, beat it really well, all of your milk mixture, and you end with the last part of your flour mixture. So everything is really, really well combined and incorporated. So let me get this all mixed up and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, here we go guys. This is these are 2 9-inch pans, circle pans, that I've got them in, and I've sprayed them down, I've floured the bottoms, I've put a circle of parchment paper at the bottoms. You can see that the batter definitely, has those little chunks of almond in them. It smells so good. It smells really, really good, like almond. So I'm really excited to see how these are going to turn out. What I've also done is I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to let these bake for about 25 to 30 minutes until I can stick a toothpick in the middle and it comes out clean. So I'm going to get these in the oven, let them cook, and we'll be back when they are done. On to our frosting for the almond layer cake. This is the white chocolate frosting. So for this you're going to need 8 ounces. This is a package of 4 ounces of white chocolate. So I got 2 of these, and I'm going to chop these down and melt them in this bowl. You're also going to need 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature, softened. You're also going to need a stick and a half of butter at room temperature, unsalted as well. We're going to use a cup of powdered sugar, and we're also going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So that is what we got. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to chop all of this white chocolate up, just break it up into little pieces, and I'm going to microwave it in the microwave. That would be a good place to do that. To microwave is in the microwave. I'm going to microwave this in 30-minute intervals, and I'm going to stir it in between until this gets all melted, and then we will be back to put in the rest of the ingredients. Alright, so I've got my white chocolate back here. It's nice and melted. It only took me a minute to get all of that done. What I've got in another bowl is my 2 packages of my cream cheese. And I just realized I need to do only half of this stick of butter because it is 1 1/2. Let me just chop that in half really quick. I'm adding my stick and a half of butter to this, and I'm also going to go ahead and add in our powdered sugar and our vanilla. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hand mixer, and I'm going to mix this all together, and we'll be back to add the chocolate. We've got our frosting nice and mixed. What I'm going to do now is I am going to add my white chocolate. Just pour it on in there. Try to keep my hand out of the way here so you guys can check it out. And make sure you get it all out. This is when your spatula definitely comes in handy because you don't want to miss any of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this into our icing. So folding is just going underneath and pulling your spatula or spoon right back and kind of twisting the bowl as well. So make sure you get that all really well combined. And I'm going to finish getting this together, and we'll be back. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get our almond cake together. I've got a little bit of my icing, and I'm just going to take a little bit of it and put it on the bottom of my cake carrier dish so that I can put my layer on there. Let me get that. First layer. And we're just going to want to center that on here. Okay, great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more icing onto the cake and get it all nice and even on here, and then I'll put the next layer on. Okay, we got that first layer on, and I used about a cup of the icing or so. Now I'm going to carefully center the next layer on here. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a really nice good layer on this, kind of as a crumb coat, I guess you could say. And then I'm going to let it sit in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes, and then I'll finish it off. But I'll let you see with the crumb coat before I finish. Okay, here's our first coat. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. Let the icing harden just a little bit, and then we'll put on the rest of the icing. And I've got about this much left, so it'll make a good, nice, thick coat to put on after the bottom layer is pretty set. Okay, so here is our almond layered cake with white chocolate frosting, and I've got it all coated now. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight until I take it to the party tomorrow. Give it a thumbs up. This is probably the best icing I've ever tasted in my life. It is really good. Give it a try. And I'll see you guys next time.